Welcome to It's All Fine and Dangy, where we talk about community, health, culture, and all of the big and little things that make life good. Here are your hosts, Dan and Angie.
All right.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our back-to-school themed special.
Yes.
That sounded like a mouthful right there, didn't it?
It is our back-to-school special.
It is.
Are you ready?
I am. It's our month of teachers.
It is our month of teachers. That's our hashtag month of teachers up there. Backwards, if you're watching us live on Facebook. We are doing this entire episode live on Facebook, which we've not done before.
No, we haven't.
So we've done 5-10 minutes at the beginning, but we're going to do the whole episode live on Facebook. This will also be a YouTube video once we're done. So we've got 2, 4, 5 cameras in here recording us. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting. You're going to have fun with that, aren't you?
Or not, but probably will. Usually do.
So our back to school special is just what it sounds like. All things back to school, but we are having a heavy education on our teachers. So it's kind of like our Meet the Teachers month.
It is.
So we are having teachers from elementary, middle school, high school, and even a college professor. So I thought, what a great month to do it. August, kids are going back to school. And I think, oh, that's loud. I think Seminole County starts August 12th. I think some of the Lake County schools are the same, and I'm not 100% sure about Orange County. I know they're a few days off from us.
I'm not sure about Orange County either. I think we kind of get stuck in our little bubble where we're more concerned about our kids and when they're going back.
Of course, even though my kids are going nowhere.
Well, it still affects you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've got some great interviews coming up this month. We've got interviews with elementary school, like you said, middle school, high school, college. Do we have all 4?
We do.
Wow.
They won't be in order because of how the dates are falling that we will interview them, but still, we're getting them all in there. So
awesome. Well, I am looking forward to it. And a couple things that's been going on with us. My daughter is in a play that's coming up. It will premiere this Friday. That is at Mimi's Community Theater in Mount Verde. And is it Montverde or Mount Verde?
Whatever you want to say.
I've been calling it like Montverde, which is totally wrong.
No,
I think I even call it that in the commercial for that really good coffee place.
You did.
The little coffee shop of horrors.
It's Mount Plymouth. Mount Dora.
Okay, but the E is silent.
Even though there's
Verde.
no mountains down here.
Oh,
I don't understand it.
Maybe, I don't know. But so it's Mount Verde.
It is Mount Verde.
Not Mount Verde.
Please. Verde is like the salsa that you put on Mexican food.
Yes, that's probably why I default to that. But anyway,
but if we are wrong, please correct us.
So she is going to be in a play called Fairy Tale Misfits. So we are really looking forward to that. It premieres this Friday. It's going to be great. We encourage you to buy tickets and go. It'll be Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday during the day. There's a matinee show this weekend and next weekend, and it should be really fun.
Yeah, and we don't encourage you just because Rachel's in it, but Mimi's Theater is actually a nonprofit organization. So really, I mean, they do this they volunteer their time so that everybody can get the chance to act up on the stage.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool that they're a nonprofit organization.
Yeah, I do too. And Rachel won't let me watch the rehearsals because she wants it to be fresh, which I totally get, and that's totally cool. But for what little bits I've seen and what little bit I read, it's going to be really funny. It's more along the vein of Shrek. So if you enjoyed that, I think you'll really enjoy this too. So anyways, last week I was taking her to the rehearsals and they run really late. They're working really so hard.
Run late.
10, 11 o'clock at night sometimes before we get back. So, that's what's been going on with me. I have been working hard on author stuff. I have started a new book. And so I'm trying to squeeze in time to write every day that I can. And I have a cough. I have look, Jamie says, Heather, it says month of teachers. So it's like It's like a brain twister because it's backwards up there with the Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Flip.
Especially since the writing is kind of small because I had to squeeze it on there.
Yeah.
You didn't think I could, though, but I did.
You did it. But anyway, so I've been working on a new book, and I have new covers coming out for both of my first novels. All of this really was part of my re-release of the first book, my official release of the second book. That's my first book is In the Dark. My second book is Lies That Bind. And all of these things are sort of prerequisites to a book signing I'm setting up at Barnes & Noble in the Altamont Mall. I'll give some more info on that as we get closer, but I'm really excited to show everyone the new covers. I have a new book blurbs coming from both of the back of my books with my editors helping me do that. So thank you for that, Elaine. Thank you, Casey, for making the new book covers. They are amazing. And I am switching to a new printer, so you'll be able to get my books in hardback if you wish. And even if only one person buys them in hardback, it's going to be me, because I'm definitely getting a copy in hardback.
I love hardback books.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. But the Ingram Sparks makes really, really high quality print books, so I'm excited about that. So that's mostly what's been going on with me. We did a trip to Tampa this past weekend.
I was going to say, we did something else.
We did. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that, but that was fun. We got to see Joe and Olivia, some friends of ours. So if you guys are watching or listening, hello.
Yeah, and we got Joe eating a little healthier. Sorry, Joe. I'll tell you. That's what happens when the health coach comes around. I plant the seed, baby. I plant the seed.
And he's so funny because he knows it's all for the best.
He knows he's happy.
And right. He's already admitting that he's feeling better, but he's really funny about it because he'll be like, "There's no mayo in the fridge." He's texting me all this stuff. Like, it's hilarious.
It's National Chicken Wing Day, and I'm in here eating tofu.
Right. Just for clarity, though, we do eat mayonnaise. We just eat
avocado mayo.
So I can't tell the difference, but
I can't either. But Rachel can. She will point
Rachel
that
absolutely
out,
can. Yeah,
like that's ridiculous. Just eat it.
Right.
Well, so we had fun down in Tampa. We laid out in the sun a little bit, ate some dinner, went to breakfast the next morning. So that was a nice little visit.
It was
nice to kind of just get away. I feel like we haven't really done anything like that in a while.
Not unless we had some sort of
like that.
Unless we had some sort of work pinned to it or project pinned to it.
Exactly. But last week I had my one of my oldest friends, not oldest Megan, but she's been in my life for a while.
Oh, you mean oldest as in you've known the longest?
Known
nice.
For probably even 25 or plus years. 25 plus years. So Megan Ward's birthday we celebrated last week. It was on the 24th, and we went over, had a couple of drinks, had some dinner, and then we played left, right, center. We didn't even play a drinking game because it was Wednesday.
That sounds like a drinking game, doesn't it? Though left, right, center.
It was fun. So we celebrated her birthday there.
Very nice.
And then I had a busy week with Mindy, my mom, Beth, and my sister couldn't come because she had to work, but she donated some items. So we bagged up 20 of the toiletry kits for Bags of Hope Central Florida.
Nice. Very nice.
And then stuffed them in the back of my little Civic in this big box. And then I took them over to Rhonda and Mark's house, dropped them off.
Right.
And then today, when did I do that?
2 days ago, I think.
2 days ago. Or no, Wednesday. Did it Wednesday? Yesterday.
Oh, that was yesterday.
Thursday. Oh, gosh. And then
I can't keep it straight.
Today, I went and drove out to Eustis to My Favorite Things.
That's right.
And they were so generous to donate 100 of the toiletry little bags for Bags of Hope to give out to kids for going back to school. So it has like shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, body wash, toothpaste, toothbrush, and a wash rag all bagged up, and 100 of them that we dropped off
That
today.
is so awesome. And just for clarity, for those of you that don't know, My Favorite Things is the name of the company when she says I went to My Favorite Things. But
But isn't that a clever name for a company? So My Favorite Things is actually like a card crafting company.
Yes.
And you can most of their purchases are made online, but they have the cutest little store in Eustis. If you've never been there,
you know what's funny
you're
is
a crafter. Check it out.
So Kim Vandersanden, who owns and runs My Favorite Things, her and her husband Martin, not Martin, but Martin. He likes to pronounce the T. Yes, not Martin.
I better correct myself. But I'm over Martin.
But anyway, well, that's I say things like internet, so people always pick on me because it's not internet. But anyway, years ago when she started this whole thing, I teased her about how silly it was and how, hey, why buy a Hallmark card when you can spend twice as much to make one?
And who's laughing now,
exactly.
sucker?
And it's such a great story. I love it because they have been really successful. She always gives back to her employees, to the community. And, that stuff works because they just keep getting more and more successful.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that they contributed. So that's so great.
With no hesitation. How many bags do you need? I said, maybe 100?
Yeah.
Done. So the staff actually stayed. I think what they do is on Thursdays, the store actually closes early. So they close around noon.
Right.
So that the team can get involved in
some community
work.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So whether it's they're doing it at the store or involved in the community, I know they've done some Habitat for Humanity stuff and just stuff in general around their community. So thank you for that.
Indeed. Jamie popped in, by the way, and said, I've known you that long too. And she misses you. Is that your comments going by?
I can't
I know.
see
they'll pop up there.
Jamie who? Jamie Milligan?
Yes.
She's known me for longer probably than Megan.
Well, hold on. Let me make sure I got her last name right. It popped up right there for a minute.
I can't see it.
I know.
It's Jamie Tisler.
Milligan. Okay. Tisler is the one I got. Yeah,
okay.
But that's definitely her. Sorry.
Yes. Awesome.
I always read someone's first and middle name. And what's funny is on Facebook, people keep their middle name and it's usually their maiden name because, if it's somebody's been married and then their name's changed, they want their old friends to know who they are. And I always confuse people because I do that whole, first and middle name and I never pay attention to the last name, don't know what it is. So that people that know them later in life are like, I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you gotta stop doing that. Oh, and we went to, I think it was Tuesday night or some weird night. We went, or maybe it was last Saturday. I'm losing track of time.
Are you talking about Friday night at Wekiva Island last weekend?
That was last.
You are losing your mind.
So last Friday we went to Wekiva Island. They do music on the weekends and just like some little special events,
Yeah.
And they had a really good band, Atlantic Alibi.
They were really good.
Oh, the guitar player was amazing, and he'd been doing it for a while. We heard the whole story from Mary Weinog, but the singer, she was amazing.
She really was. I mean, they were both really good. And, the thing is for me...
You have to have a good guitar. I mean, if he isn't a good guitar player, she's not going to sound good.
Right.
The tempo would be off and stuff. But,
so true.
And he sang too.
So true, and and they harmonized together
very good. But they sang Shallow.
I was going to say. So for me...
I was dying.
Angie was loving all of it because it's like Pink and Rihanna. But it's like
with a twist.
But it's like an acoustic guitar. And I like it.
Really
but, I like the heavier stuff. Those of you that know me. But... The Shallows is an amazing song. I don't care what kind of music you like. And they nailed it. I get like chills down the back of my neck because they nailed it so well. So we'll put a link in the show notes to this band, but they are amazing.
I was blown away. Christina Aguilera songs, Whitney Houston songs.
Yeah.
And nailing it, but not, like I was telling Dan, it wasn't in the note that Christina or Whitney can hit, but she chose to go a little lower and nailed it, though. It was amazing.
Yeah, Marcy popped in and said that's where she saw Sean Holcomb, but she loves it out there as well.
Oh, yes.
So, we're big fans of the island, and we could go on forever about all the fun things to do out there, and we'll talk a little bit more about the place as we get into our into the show here. But, that was fun going out there. We never do that anymore.
But you had something else to say about what happened there. Something happened.
I would just like to make a formal apology to Paula. If you're listening, Paula, I'm sorry about the wine. I truly am.
Oh gosh.
So as we're standing there, and it was a pretty crowded room. And the nice thing about Wekiva Island is even when they reach capacity, which they do on the weekends, their capacity versus their space, it's awesome because they'll be reached capacity. No one else is allowed in, and it's still plenty of room in there. There's room to move around. But in the wine room, and I think it's specifically because of Atlantic Alibi.
Yeah.
Everyone was crammed in there to watch them, and they're great. And I'm like standing in a corner, and I had a drink, or maybe I didn't. And I went to move, and there was this lady behind me, and I tapped my elbow against her wine glass and almost spilled her wine glass. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. And I turned towards her. Now, I've had like one drink, so this wasn't alcohol related. And then I look over and there's Seth, who is the manager of the bar. He's also my cousin. And I go, hey, and my elbow, just as I raised up, for those of you listening that can't see here, I nailed her wine glass. She was going around me and it sprayed right in her face. All down her shirt. I felt horrible. So yeah, we laugh about it now.
It was very expensive wine that you wasted.
Oh, I know. And she was so cool about it. She had a black shirt on, so you couldn't see it. I ran to get some paper towels and everything. But anyway, I said to myself, we talked about the podcast in there. I don't remember if we talked to her about it specifically, but I said, I have got to apologize to Paula. So again, Paula, I am so sorry.
Because she listened to...
Oh, she had listened to that's right. She knew who we were after that, but not before. But anyway, so it was very embarrassing and I apologize for that. Yeah. But it was a worst case scenario. She was going to take a drink and I just elbowed her right in the face. So. Yeah.
She was a trooper about it.
She really was. Nice. She was so cool and so nice about it. So anyway.
So those of you that don't know, the Wekiva Island has a wine bar, so you'll have to check that out if you haven't yet. Am I too loud?
No. I think I have something turned up a little bit, and it's doing like a weird echo thing.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Testing.
We'll fix
good
it later. All right. And I wanted to also remind everybody that Wekiva Island does these it's actually Keep Seminole Beautiful.
Yep.
That does these monthly river cleanups. And you can actually get a free canoe rental, canoe or kayak, I think, wherever it is. And you have to help clean up the river, though. You have to try to pick up trash out of the river. They give you like a little scooper thing, but you get a free rental. So this Saturday, the 3rd, from 9 to noon or 1, I think it is.
Right.
They're doing a free rental, and you can get into Wekiva Falls for free. So sometimes they do it at Wekiva Island. Sometimes they do it at Wekiva Falls.
Right.
But it's Wekiva Falls this Saturday, the 3rd, and get there early. And just tell them that you are there for the river cleanup. And Dan and Rinda will be the ones leading it up. So make
not
sure.
Not this Dan, but yeah.
Yeah. A different Dan and Rinda. Well, not that they would mistake that with you.
But we will be there.
Yeah, we will be there. But if you see Dan and Rinda, that they're volunteering their time. So just make sure to tell them thank you.
Indeed. I'm looking forward to doing that.
Kind of organizing
you've done that before. I've never done it before, so I'm excited to be a part of it.
Yeah. So me and Rachel went and found a sock out of the whole time. We did it for like 3 hours and found a sock.
Yep. And
that's only because, let's face it, somebody fell out of their canoe probably a couple days before that and lost a sock. I think that's why we found it.
And the moral of that, or the point that I get from that is they do it so often. That's how clean they're keeping the river. So you got to love that. I mean, that's a really good sign when you get a free rental to pick up garbage and you can't hardly find any garbage.
And I love it because it's like a win-win. Well, it's a win-win-win. The environment gets cleaned up. You get to get outside and, get some fresh air and enjoy nature, vitamin D, which I talk about all the time. And also, this is great for families or, people that can't really afford a canoe rental on a regular basis. So this is a great thing for them to be able to get out and do when they...
Oh, what a great point. Yeah. I didn't really even think of it from that. You get to do
this for free. Literally, you get into the park for free and you get the canoe rental for free.
Yeah.
And I think you can probably even enjoy the park afterwards.
The other thing too is that if you're, if you're going out there with your kids, you're also teaching them to kind of, as Bill and Mary told us on the episode they were on, teaching the next generation on how to keep things cleaned up and to take better care of the environment. It's kind of a win-win-win-win across the board.
Please clean if you go out, though. Hopefully you don't find any trash, though.
That reminds me.
That's a good thing if we don't find any, but...
When my son was in Scouts, they always had a rule that you want to leave a place better than you found it.
Yeah, and I agree. When we... a long time ago, we went down to Miami Beach.
Right.
We were going on a cruise out of there. And then we said, let's just go to the beach before, It was disgusting. I wanted to kill somebody. The beach was disgusting.
Oh, wow. With garbage?
It literally looked like people brought stuff from McDonald's, sat down, ate their lunch, and left it there all over the beach. There were cigarette butts. I don't know what part we were at. But it was not good. I was livid. I was like...
sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was... We left. I was like, I cannot even hang around here. This is disgusting. So, anyway, What else is up?
I'll shift gears then.
Shift gears.
On a positive note, though, we're looking forward to helping into doing that. Oh, Jamie says Katie's Landing used to pay you to do that too. And
they paid you. Oh, man.
Here's how you do it. You'd never know I'm an IT guy in real life. Now I see all the people that are watching, that are popped in and that are talking. And
are you going to remember it for next time?
Probably
how
not.
It works?
Maybe if I watch this one. But Jamie said that Katie's Landing used to pay you to pick up cans and bottles out of the river back in the day, and they would give you little nets to scoop it up. So it sounds like the same kind of thing still.
Yeah, that's
pretty
great.
awesome.
That whole river is just so clean, though. It's both ends. They're doing a great job at just keeping it gorgeous out there. So King's Landing and then Wekiva at the other end. I know. I love that they do that. Yeah. I love it. Oh, Brittany a little earlier said Kristen Rogers, whoop, whoop, because she's one of our guests coming up for this. She's one of the teachers this month. So we're looking forward to that too. And now I can pay attention to the comments. Sorry that I missed so many of them, guys. But so on a lighter note, we'll switch gears to something silly because that's what I'm good at. We did watch the movie Vice, and I'm not going to get into politics, but we watched the movie Vice. I think it was on Netflix. I think so. Yeah.
It was.
The acting.
The acting was amazing. It is a couple of my favorite actors. It's the guy that played Batman in the 3 Batman movies, the sort of reboot of the Dark Knight series. Christian Bale. He is amazing. And then one of my other favorite actors, Sam Rockwell, is in it. He is amazing. So I won't ruin it. It's about the Bush administration during all of that and everything that went down. And it is a really good movie. So check it out. No matter what side of the fence you're on, I think you'll find it to be a super interesting movie.
It's very entertaining. Good acting.
And the trailer for Zombieland 2 came out.
It looks really good.
Jacob and I have been counting the days for this. There was a rumor they were going to make it.
You guys are going to go see that late, aren't you?
We're going to go see that on opening night. I'll
wait.
Oh, I'd love for you to go with us.
No, you need father-son time.
We do, but
once in a while.
Whatever. But I think if you saw the first one, you got to go see the second one. It's all the same cast. If you didn't see the first one, stop watching right now and go watch it. We're recording this. You can watch the rest later.
Is that Michelle? Oh, she's texting you.
Yeah. No.
Hi, Michelle.
She's not watching. She's texting. She might be texting about this. I don't know.
It's too funny.
Anyway, and then I wanted to take a minute here to not put everyone to sleep, but we've noticed something. So every time I talk to someone, not every time, but often when I'm talking to someone about the podcast or, someone that's maybe heard some of the commercials or watched us on Facebook Live, and I say, oh yeah, did you hear our guest last week or whatever? And they're like, what do you mean? Well, it dawned on me that some people don't know how to play a podcast. Some people don't even really know what a podcast is. And so I'm certainly not picking on anyone, but I wanted to take some time just here for a minute to explain what a podcast is and to explain that it's more than just like the Facebook Lives or the little videos that are on Facebook or Instagram. So, taking a deep breath and
get it out.
Get it out.
Jim Carrey.
I know. Oh, what's he do? Oh, I can't do that.
And then he does the whole fast, name Pet Detective.
Oh, that's right. I can't do that one either. And then he takes another deep breath. So essentially what a podcast is it's usually just audio. It's usually not video like we're doing right now on Facebook. And it's usually available on a multitude of platforms. But think of it like this. Think of it like a radio talk show that's recorded so you can listen to it anytime you want. It's almost like a Netflix version of a radio talk show. And no matter what phone you have or tablet or computer, you can listen to our podcast on any or all of the above. You can go to fineandangie.com on any device and pick the podcast feed tab at the top of our website. So when you go to fineandangie.com, you'll see across the top where it's like home, menu, whatever. Click on podcast feed and the latest podcast is right there with a big play button. That's the easiest way to do it. It's probably the most uncommon way to do it. You can also use an app on your phone called Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, depending on what app you have. Most of you, if not all of you, have heard of Spotify. You can install that app. It's a free install, and you can listen to it on that. You just punch up a search on any of these for Fine and Dangie. That's Fine space and space DANJEE, and then it'll pop up. You'll see our cartoon heads and click on it, and then you can just click on any of the episodes. You can't. So essentially, that's how you play a podcast. And if you listen to 2 minutes of it and then you get somewhere, you get busy, you can just stop it. And when you start it later, whether it's 5 minutes later or a year later, it'll pick up right where you left off.
It does. Yes. And you can listen to them in any order that you want to.
You sure can.
As well.
You sure can. And that's the cool thing about it.
Let me point something out.
Sure.
My mom didn't know this, and your mom didn't know this, I don't think. On the iPhones, the podcast app is already built right in.
Yep.
It's a purple beacon on your iPhone. So.
And it's actually coming to Apple Watch in September. If it's not, I can't remember if that was the last update or the next one, but those apps are built into a lot of phones.
Yeah.
So there's some sort of a podcast app. So there's other apps I didn't even name that it'll do, like iHeartRadio. Many of you have heard of that one. We're on an app called Stitcher. We're on
most of them, except
we're
for
on YouTube.
Little tiny ones that you've probably never heard of. It's too much work, right? To put them on all
well, actually, they spread to each other. So we're on TuneIn Radio. We're actually on YouTube under Fine and Dangy, and the video is really just our cartoon heads that are static, but it is a recording of the entire show. So I'll stop going on with the commercial here, but there's so many ways to listen to it.
And message us if you have questions, because we've had to set it up for a few people.
Yeah, we have. But anyway, I mentioned that to somebody and they were like, I didn't even know you had all these. I thought it was just the Facebook Live stuff. So,
and you mentioned that you can listen to us on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Well, we're going to be starting a YouTube channel soon.
Well, yeah. So we have a YouTube channel, and we have a few videos on it. Some of the nature walks and early stuff about getting outside.
But we haven't been active in
the funny stuff like Angie busting the water pipe. We got to learn to talk about stuff that we've already talked about too, because not everybody listens to all the shows. But so we're going to start putting a lot more effort into making YouTube videos, talking to you guys, the audience, as you're watching the videos. I watch a lot of YouTube videos like that. That's why I really don't even watch TV. So with all the stuff we do with the biking and the kayaking and the getting involved with community and walking and just all the stuff that we've been doing out there, we're going to start doing interactive videos on YouTube. So I think that'll be cool. I guess they're not really interactive, but you know what I mean.
But I need us to wait till my capstone class is done. Then we can maybe start it.
That's coming up, isn't it?
Yes. So I'm in my I say final class. They put me in one more class after this, which it's basically that class is going to be like, all right, let's just get through this.
Yeah.
But this is like my final class to graduate, like your thesis class. That's what a capstone is. So these next 4 weeks is a lot of crunch time for me. I already started a while back, putting my outline together, because I'm somebody who works better under pressure. Unfortunately,
I think a lot of us
really, are. Like, things just come together. It's like it's all in my mind, and you see out on the table, I got papers with notes just jotted all not in an organized fashion. And then on my computer, I have a whole bunch that I've been resources and ideas that I want.
Yeah.
Hands are going.
No. I meant you said computer in my nightstand thing. Listen, but I think we all operate under pressure. Yeah, I think most of us do.
But anyway. I have a really good idea of what I want, and I want it to be very impactful.
Right.
Everybody knows.
You gonna have a PowerPoint presentation?
I'm going to do a PowerPoint presentation that includes videos. And
now you're talking my language.
And I'm going to have easels that have boards printed with statistics, and I'm going to have food, and it's going to be very impactful. So
statistics, a PowerPoint presentation, and food.
Yeah,
I would give you an immediate A.
I know. I'm gonna get an A. Anyway, so it's going to be about the standard American diet and lifestyle, and how something needs to change because of the health of this nation. So, and I'll go into alternative forms of medicine too. So I've got it all in here and on some paper. It's just, it'll flow out. It'll flow out.
Oh, I've seen you do it a million times. It's very impressive. And people are asking on the Facebook Live what you are going to school for, and I'll let you answer.
Yeah. So I'm actually at the ripe old age of when 40, I decided to go back. Just to do something I was interested in. I wasn't even thinking, it's going to put me in all this student debt. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of that.
No, whatever.
I didn't really care. It was a self-accomplishment thing, but I found a school where you can actually earn your Bachelor of Science in alternative medicine.
Yep.
And what does that mean? Well, it just means that I have a Bachelor of Science in Alternative Medicine.
Well, come on, though. Tell people what you're...
It kind of, basically what we did is all my classes were geared around different types of alternative medicine. So I have like a, huge treasure chest, I guess, of principles of acupuncture and homeopathy and traditional Chinese medicine. So I know all the basics and a little bit deeper into all of those.
Right.
So basically from here, you could say, okay, where do I want to go now? Do I want to become an acupuncturist? You can use this going into nursing. Like I could become a nurse. I could go to school to become a nurse.
But ultimately, so you're a health and wellness coach now.
So I am a certified health coach.
Right. That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah.
So the whole idea is to use food as medicine and other ways to, suggest to people and guide them through their health journey, really.
Right, because not to go sort of ruin anything, but what I've learned from you, just from you going to this, and a lot of this, I guess, is kind of obvious, but the American diet is terrible. Even if you think you eat pretty healthy, you probably don't.
Yeah.
And we're sort of all in a pattern, myself included, until Angie started doing this, but we're all in a pattern of eating as good as we can, especially at my age, maybe not great, and then developing some sort of an issue, going to the doctor and getting on a pill. It's a typical thing. I'm getting older. I go to the doctor, I get on a pill. Yeah. And what I've learned is you don't have to do it that way. You can change your diet and not take the pill that's also doing other bad stuff to you. Yeah. So I feel like the classes that you've been taking when you and I talk about some of the courses and stuff, and some of the stuff you just went through, it feels like you're almost going to school to become a doctor.
Yeah. And I plan on adding other things to my repertoire. How do you say it? I can't say
repertoire.
Words. I go to college. I can't say words. Repertoire. I want to be master health coach certified so I can sit for a state board test, because eventually health insurance will start covering health coaches.
Yeah.
And how I describe a health coach is someone who is basically like a personal trainer for your health and wellness.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us start things and then we stop and then we start.
Of course.
We don't have any balance. A health coach is to help you learn balance and to teach, guide, and support you through that journey and find what works for you and what you can stick to.
Yeah, indeed. Well, before you go deeper into education, I just want to take a minute to say hi to Lori, to Kimberly, to David, who I still want to call Bruce. So a bunch of people are saying hi. I apologize. It's kind of going by faster than we can interact with everyone, but just want to say hi to all you guys and thanks for watching. Hello. And with all that and Angie's big deep dive into all the stuff that she's getting into learn, we also wanted to
I'm going to talk about my education too.
I love it, but we want to kind of use that as sort of a platform to talk about the importance of education. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, so I just thought, how we always talk about evolving?
Yes.
And that you're not evolving if you're not learning, right?
Oh, indeed.
So how important is education when it comes to that? We see so many people that are older now going back to college. Right? That maybe didn't even have a high school diploma.
Yeah.
And now they're they've just continued education throughout their life. They continue to feed the brain, stimulate the brain. Therefore, they are evolving.
So you mean people that did graduate high school that have gone back to graduate high school and then go to college?
Yeah, they'll go get their GED and then they'll go possibly, get accepted into a community college. Then they want to go further than that. Yep. I was just talking to somebody the other day who his mom was in her 60s when she went back and got and became a nurse.
Wow.
How cool is that?
Well, I think it's super common for adults to go back to college. They used to make movies about how it was kind of ridiculous and it was like the adult among all the kids. But even when I was going to college, there were adults in there.
Yeah.
So,
and really in today's world, it's really important because as I have found out now, a bachelor's degree is equivalent to like a high school diploma.
Yeah. And in some fields, it really is. In some fields.
So we really need, our kids, especially those graduating, even if they don't want to go to, off to a prestigious school or even do community college, why not a technical school? Learn something hands-on, but there's something that you've got to evolve, you know? So
sure.
I like to use the word evolve.
I like it. When we talk about evolutionary thinking in a way, when I talk to the kids, I talk to A friend of ours, Dan Myatt, we were having a conversation a few months ago, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it was something around, it triggered my thinking around whenever you receive more information, whatever your beliefs are in anything, and anything about nutrition, about anything, as time goes by, we have more information about things, science, nutrition, whatever. And if you're not willing to say, oh, hold on, there's new information, and study the new information, decide whether or not it changes your thinking, beliefs, or understanding, I feel like that's where you have sort of refused to evolve. And we all know the older person that's like, I believe what I believe. I've got my dusty Encyclopedia Britannica, and new information is going to keep coming throughout our lives after we die, the next generation. And I feel like we get smarter about all of these things, nutrition included, until we pretty much really understand how it works. And even when we think we know how things work, there's a breakthrough. And now they discovered this thing doesn't work the way we thought. One of the most interesting things to me was when we discovered that layer between your skin and your muscle. Mm-hmm. You and I talked about this last year. And I can't remember, is that an organ?
It is considered an organ now.
And it's the largest organ in your body.
Yes. And a couple interesting things that they have found is that when you die, it doesn't exist anymore.
Well, that is weird.
And so in traditional Chinese medicine, they would kind of refer to that as what's called the sanjiao.
Right.
And in Western spirit medicine, is what people would refer to it as. So pretty interesting, right?
It is. So in Western medicine, what do we think? Is it just, does it dissolve into your body, whatever it is?
They would just, I believe that they would just say that kind of like your heart stops beating if your blood's not, or if your heart stops beating if your blood's not flowing, it's not being provided some type of nutrition that it needs to sustain. Yeah.
But I wonder, and I think we probably have to look into it.
I don't think they've discovered that yet, because if they've just now discovered it, they're probably going to have to be able to check it out after somebody has died.
Or measure it as they're dying.
Yeah.
That went morbid.
Oh, yeah. It's still interesting, though. And
it is.
Since we are talking back to school,
right?
Education, I mean, we could go on and on about the deep dive of that. Right. And what I was thinking, too, though, as we do get older, I think of use it or lose it with your brain. Because they've shown, cognitive function is directly linked to using your brain. So things like puzzles or crossword puzzles or reading, those are all things that are learning, right?
Right.
Learning new information that help to stimulate your brain from declining.
Yeah. There's lots of science behind that about sort of brain.
And when you're little too. So while your brain is growing, I mean, it's just we can't stop. We got to keep it moving. Feeding the brain.
Right. There is science behind, the brain being like a muscle, and the more you actually exercise it, the more apt you are to keep everything flowing, to keep your memory better,
like
to keep all that better.
Every part of the body. It's just,
we've got Veronica said she's 55 and she's going to college for accounting.
Yay, Veronica.
That's pretty awesome.
Oh, that is great.
And Mindy popped in and said, hey.
Hey. I love it. So thinking back to school as well, we're thinking of how we can help, right?
Indeed.
So we're trying to help with Bags of Hope, getting the toiletry little bags to them. And
I got my Bags of Hope shirt on.
If you're trying to save some money, I didn't look up the dates because I forgot, but the back to school tax-free shopping weekend should be coming up.
Oh, yeah. I just got an email from Seminole County about that, but I don't know what the dates are. It's a pretty easy thing to look up, but we will put it in the show notes.
Yeah. Because I forgot. Sorry, people.
Yeah, so did I.
People. I was making recipes today. And then I was thinking of some ways that if you can't volunteer your time throughout the school year, which the schools are in desperate need of people working in the libraries or helping with the PTA, maybe with their fundraisers and things like that, or being a crossing guard. I mean, there's so many different areas, right? Yeah. I was thinking if you can't physically donate your time to be there in person, right? How about offering some money for student lunches? They have like a little lunch fund.
Oh, good point.
Of kids that maybe can't afford lunches or aren't on the free and reduced lunches, whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
Or what happens if you could offer to pay for some students who can't go on a field trip? when you're a kid, like that's what you looked forward to.
Oh, of course.
I had many times where my parents could not afford for me to go on a field trip because they're really expensive sometimes,
sure.
right? And then you have to bring lunch or whatever else. And I didn't get to go. And that was like such a bummer. You didn't even want to go to school that day.
Because you were going to be like the one or two kids left.
Two little poor kids that could go. You know what I mean?
Depressing again.
Well, whatever. Sometimes.
I guess it helps. It helps you to really think that you should give, though, because I mean, it's like we met with Rhonda. That's where the biggest giving spirit comes from, is when you're forced to kind of focus on the things that we don't want to focus on because they are depressing.
Yeah. Yeah, they can be depressing.
Yeah.
But I remember doing that a few times when my kids were in schools. I asked the teacher, hey, can I pay for another student to be able to go on the trip?
Yeah.
And, I could only afford one more, but still that's one kid that was able to go. So something like that.
That's a great point. I never thought of doing that.
Yeah. So that's my ideas. And then I want to give a shout out to Linda at HitFit Gym. Because I haven't been to the gym in a while, people. None of us have. We signed up for the HitFit Gym.
I was just about to say I've been going every other day, but you blew it for me.
And listen, what did I call myself? The procrastinating health coach?
You know what?
Oh my gosh, I just need to. It's 35 minutes to go there.
It is an amazing gym, and I have no excuses, but I will say.
So I wanted to say, listen, Linda, listen, Linda, honey. I've been busy, but I promise we're coming. This month is over and my capstone is over. You're all full
in.
speed ahead with everything.
You'll motivate me to get my butt in there too.
There you go. Yeah.
I really, really enjoy going to the gym. Well, I do.
Yeah. Not all gyms.
I think it's because I don't go enough. But I will be inspired by when you go. I was telling Joe this past weekend about how great this gym is, the HitFit Gym. I really was telling him that. So this tells you that we're not just helping to support local business, but really we believe in this. And Nicole's gym is amazing here in Apopka, the HitFit Gym. But, when I went last time, it was hard to walk for like 4 days. And I think that's because I'm just not seasoned at it. But
well, let's just not lie to people. We haven't been doing anything. But I mean, not that we haven't been doing anything.
But we haven't even been like kayaking or biking or anything.
We just haven't. So,
it's easy to get wrapped up.
We ain't talking the walking the, what do I say?
Walking the talk.
We ain't walking the talk very good, are we?
Well, when it comes to that, we really haven't been. I could make a million excuses for travel and everything else, but the long and the short of it is we just haven't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know. And I always ask myself, how do other people just fit this all in?
They just prioritize.
They just do.
You'll make time for the things that are a priority to you.
So.
Well, while you're giving a shout out, I want to give a shout out to the WARlando podcast. That's WARlando. A couple that we met at Wekiva Island, and some of their friends do it. That's true. You didn't meet them.
No.
They do the WARlando podcast. I've only listened to a little bit of it. It's a podcast that is heavily focused on what's that game called? I'm going to not be able to remember it now. They play it on Stranger Things. Dungeons and Dragons. So it's like a game where they read and they roll dice. And I know those of you that play it are probably groaning right now because that was my description. But I never really played it. But I always thought it was a really cool idea. And it's very
much of a fantasy type game, right? Like a fantasy story.
And I think that someone's like, from what I hear, if you're a really good storyteller, then you sort of are the one that tells the story, and then people decide what they want to do. The guy that I worked with when I bought your ring.
Oh.
He was, his name is Eddie. So Eddie, if you're listening, how are you? And thank you. But you never would have guessed. I mean, he's all dressed up in a suit. He's a really hip looking younger guy. And, the beard and the hair and the style everyone is now. And we just started talking, and he's big into a thing. Vin Diesel has like a Dungeons and Dragons room in his house. So the concepts people may have about this stuff, like, oh, it's just for like the nerdy, it's actually very mainstream now. And when they were telling me about it, I was like, wow, it's really cool. They do a podcast all about it. And I think they do about other games too. I wanted to give them a shout out. Cool. Anytime we can support other podcasts or other people kind of doing their thing, chasing their passions.
Yeah. My cousin's Doug Fleming, who lives up in Michigan, and Rodney Davenport, Rodney.
Oh, yeah.
They used to play.
Right.
Dungeons and Dragons. And yeah, I thought they were nerds. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Well, there was,
I wasn't into it though.
So you know what's funny? From the 80s, I'm a child of the 80s. I know a lot of you are children of the 80s, but a lot of those things like Dungeons and Dragons and comic books and video games that were so insanely nerdy that you didn't tell anyone you were doing them, especially, you know, in the younger, before it started, even in the late 80s, I guess it started becoming really popular with arcades and all that, or maybe mid 80s. But, you know, some of that stuff, I wrote in my blog a while back about rushing home to play Zelda. And I would never tell my buddies at school because
that you were rushing them to do that.
But all that stuff now is so mainstream and so cool. And even the girls do it. And, you know, that was the thing back then. Maybe that happened back then, but it wasn't nearly as sort of universal. So, anyway, I love it. I love that nerd culture is kind of taking over.
Yeah.
Of course.
So we are so excited for the month of teachers. We already have our first interview under the belt. And
we do.
It will be next Thursday. So that'll be our elementary teacher. I'm not going to say who it is, but she will be edited. And
just to kind of clean up the noise a little.
Yeah. And
that was a great interview, though. I know I say that all the time, but that was an educational one for me. It was really cool to hear how it all works.
Yeah. I always learn something, I think, from every interview that we do. And I learned a lot from that one, actually.
I did too. Yep.
And our giveaways start this month. No.
Yeah, it's
September.
in play. No. The giveaways already started.
Oh, yeah, this one.
The giveaway it's August 1st. Well, it started a week or two ago. So we posted about it a week or two ago. And
we did?
Yeah, we did.
I mean, Dan did.
The collective we. I did jump on a little early, but I want to give everyone a chance. We've only gotten a couple of emails so far, so it didn't really stir it up too much. Yeah. But I didn't want to interrupt you, but I just want to let everybody know that it has started already.
Okay. So giveaways are done or started.
That's right.
So how do we enter for a giveaway?
Sure. I didn't want to interrupt you, but yeah. So
sorry.
This is so super easy. So we have a prize stash that we've been building up on. We are giving away restaurant gift cards to places here in town, like Tijuana Flats, who has my absolute favorite tacos.
My tacos aren't your favorite.
Okay, well, tacos out. I always have to inject out, but they have my favorite tacos out. Garibaldi's in Apopka. They have my favorite margarita, and their guacamole is amazing. If I could, and their food's amazing too. But truth be told, if I could get a taco from Tijuana Flats, a margarita, and some guacamole from Garibaldi's, I'd be in heaven. Oh, but we're gonna have we have gift cards for both of those places. We have. What else do we have? We have gift cards to a chiropractor. Those are a $220 value each.
Like a little certificate.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And we have T-shirts. We have, I think, 2 or 3 T-shirts left from my very first book signing, which was 2 years ago. We're not printing those anymore. So if you are a fan of In the Dark, this is a collector's item. We printed limited amounts of those, and we will never print that type again, no matter what we print. Those will never come back. Yeah. So that's kind of exciting for fans of the book. We also have a Google Home Mini. We got another one of those. And it's a device that sits in your house, and you can say, okay, Google, turn the lights on, or okay, Google, what time is the movie? And it ties into all kinds of things. Very cool. Of course, that's one of the things I'm most excited about.
Yeah.
We've got organizations now that are donating more prizes to us. Mary Weinog from Wekiva Island reached out to me yesterday and said Wekiva Island wants to donate some prizes. So we'll have more exciting prizes involved in this. And as we get closer and we get towards the end of September, we will be doing that sort of random giveaway on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So, how do you win? All you have to do is go to Alex's Lemonade Stand, and I believe that website, I'm looking right now, that's alexslemonade.org. Can you verify that? Because I can't get to it right now, or I'll shut this down. So I'll clarify that. Thank you for that. Yeah. So you go to Alex's Lemonade Stand website, you donate. There's a big donate button on there. After you donate, whether it's $1 or $1,000 or whatever you can, you click show receipt. You take a screenshot of your receipt. If you don't know how to take a screenshot, take out your phone, take a picture. Send us that picture or screenshot to Fine and Dangy.
Here it is.
You won't see that. So what is the website?
No, I was just showing like the colors. alexslemonade.org.
Okay, yeah, Alex's Lemonade. So it's weird because it's ALEXS
Yeah.
Lemonade.org. And you donate right there. Send us a picture or a screenshot of your donation, and you're going to send that to feedback@fineandangie.com, FINEANDDANJEE.com. We're going to take everyone, and everyone is entered in the contest equally, whether you donated $1 or $1,000. So,
or if you even bought like a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I think it should be for that too, because they still get Alex's Lemonade Stand t-shirt.
Oh, directly from Alex's Lemonade Stand?
The other one is because...
Well, that's a good point. So I don't want to complicate it by changing the rules on the fly, but if you did buy something from alexslemonade.org, the proceeds still go. So that's another good point. If you don't want to just donate, if you want to get something, send us your receipt. Has to have started after we started the contest, so it's not something that you did before. And we are also walking the talk. We bought a couple t-shirts from there. We've both individually donated to there. Yeah,
because next month, September, as everybody knows, is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month.
That's right.
We're supporting the Golden Warrior Festival.
Yep.
And all the proceeds earned from that are going to go to Alex's Lemonade Stand, which helps to hopefully find a cure for childhood cancer.
Yeah, and Elena Rawls, one of our friends that we had on the show a couple of weeks ago, whose son was diagnosed with neuroblastoma, that's a form of childhood cancer. She was just telling me via text message that she got a message from Alex's Lemonade Stand that because of donations, they've got a couple new trials now that they're doing, and those trials are sort of early medications that they're seeing great progress with, but certain people can get on the trial to start trying the medicine at no charge or at reduced charge. And it's, some of these things they're actually seeing some pretty good breakthroughs on, but it's all due to the donations like the ones that we're asking for. Yeah. And so I want to take a minute to talk about the Golden Warrior Festival in September. So that's going to be on September 7th at Beef O'Brady's in Apopka. That's on the intersection of Rock Springs Road and Welch, right there in that public shopping center. Yep. Nope, I'm sorry. It's in the other shopping center where the Albertsons used to be. Yep. Mm-hmm. So most of you in Apopka know Beef O'Brady's. You know where it's at. It's going to be in the parking lot there. There's going to be a big festival there. Lots of stuff for families to do. There's going to be a bounce house out there. A lady doing henna tattoo. Or it might be a man. I don't know. Or it might be both. But like a henna tattoo artist. Angie and I will have a Fine and Dangie tent set up out there. There's going to be all kinds of stuff out there. We're sort of adding more events as we get closer. If you go to the Golden Warrior website, you can sign up for some of the, you can purchase a t-shirt. I think tomorrow is the last day to purchase a t-shirt. And I've posted on some of our social media that I think we needed, as of yesterday, we needed 6 more t-shirts in order to purchase any t-shirts because there's a certain amount. Minimum. Yeah. So we'll post a link in the show notes for that too later tonight as we post this one.
Yeah. And then make sure to wear them in September. Indeed. Or you have to pick them up at the festival. Right. So you have to come to the festival and see us. Yeah. And, Alex's Lemonade, well, there will be someone there selling lemonade for Alex's Lemonade Stand. And Elena told us a really cool story. This was a child who was wanting to raise money and they went to Home Depot to get the materials to do it. And the Home Depot people said, "Oh, come back in like an hour while we get those things together." And they made the lemonade stand for them.
I didn't know all this.
That's what they did. So they made it and painted it and everything. And when they came back, this lemonade stand was done.
That is really cool.
So that they are supposed to be out there with that actual lemonade stand that was made for them.
That's where it's from. I didn't know that.
Child who was selling lemonade to help earn money for childhood cancer awareness.
That is really cool. That's very cool.
So I'm excited to see that.
Me too. So we encourage you to come out. Come say hi to us. Come say hi to Elena. If you're not comfortable about the whole cancer thing, we talked about this before. You don't really need to talk about cancer when you're there. It's just
come out. Yeah.
Just come out. And, every dollar counts, everything, anything that people can do. And even if you can't donate any money, just come out and see us, come out and see everybody, come take part in the festival. The more people that are there, the more of a festival it actually is anyway.
And a sense of community that
absolutely
bringing the community together. I mean, I think for the kids that are going to be there that, do have cancer, they're going to have a great time because all these people are out there having fun.
Sure.
So Kids love the energy of when a whole bunch of people are together.
Undoubtedly.
So,
Undoubtedly. And as Elena will say, the whole objective here is to raise awareness. Mm-hmm. So, the more awareness is raised, the more that people start paying attention to it, the more attention they get, it essentially heads to more funding, which heads to the potential for a cure and more of these trials and things. And so throughout the month of September and leading up to September, Angie and Mindy
she's going to help me when she can.
Yep, when she can. They're going to be going to local Apopka businesses, and we are going to be selling this big gold ribbon, the loop gold ribbon with a little bit of purple in it, has a little saying on it. And we'll put some examples of it on the website, but we're going to be selling those to local businesses so you can pin those up in your windows to show that you are also taking part in the Golden Warrior Festival. The objective here is to turn Apopka gold, and that really brings attention to it because people start wondering, just like they do for any of these sort of fundraisers, or when you see the pink bows for breast cancer awareness, it wasn't so long ago that none of us knew what the pink bows even meant.
That's right. And
so the objective here is to kind of get it to where everyone knows that, it's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month because of the bows. So we're going to be wearing the little bows. We're going to be, she's going to be selling the bows. All the proceeds are also going to go to Alex's lemonade stand. So,
and the bows don't just have to be for businesses. If anybody wants to purchase one for their home,
that would be cool, right on your front door.
I am going to take orders for them because that's cost that's going into it.
Of course.
I don't want to have, 500 bows made up and then, they're just sitting there. Right. So I'm going to, we'll post a picture of what they're going to look like, but they're going to be pretty big.
Yeah.
So you're going to see it on your front door. But even if you don't purchase a bow from us, decorate your front of your door gold for the month of September and just leave it like anything gold in your yard or on your door that you can put up. We'd love if you donated so that it goes to Alex's lemonade stand.
Yeah.
But if you don't, at least show your support by decorating your door gold.
Indeed.
And Christmas stuff is out. You can find it.
Yeah, of course.
But ours will be prettier because they'll have a little saying on it and a little bit of purple to represent the Golden Warrior Festival as well, because there's a little bit of purple in there too.
Right.
Yeah.
Alicia jumped in and said hi.
Hello.
Debbie jumped in and said hi.
Oh, I love it.
Hi, guys. Thank you for watching. Oh, Debbie said, congratulations on your engagement. I almost fell over when I saw the post.
Did you hear what I said, Debbie? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We can't say it. This is a clean podcast.
You have to watch the video on that.
And Dan said finally on his post on social media.
Dan is hilarious.
Also, Veronica's offering to help you make the bows, so we should reach back out to Veronica.
Yeah, Veronica.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'll get those orders in and be putting you to work. Veronica's a hard worker, though, so
indeed,
should probably have it done like in 2 seconds. Oh, guys, so we'd love to hear from you. Please give us a call at 407-490-3899 and just say hi.
Yeah,
just we like hearing people's voices.
We do.
It'd be cool if we could actually talk back at Facebook Live FaceTime everybody.
We can't do that, but I don't want to jump too far ahead. But I did. There is an option that we may look into in the future where we can do some of these shows with a live call-in phone number. That available
would be cool
from our podcast hosts. So we may do special. It's the next tier up. So I'd rather pay for it once in a while. Yeah. But that would be really neat to have a live call-in. So we'd have to have something that is kind of driving people to want to call.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you anyway. So please give us a call, leave a voicemail.
Yeah. Feedback at fineanddangy.com. And, if there's anything that you're passionate about in the community, as far as a charity or organization that you work with, let us know. We want to focus on it. We try to focus on one thing a month, but they trickle over because I think once you get so involved in something, you're kind of in it, especially when you see how the people are within that organization. You're like, okay, I still want to do whatever I can to help out. So,
and you can't wait. Sometimes it just can't wait. I mean, it's something that's happening now for,
breast cancer awareness month is coming up, or you know of some, gala or something they're doing.
Even if it's not a charity. I mean, we really like to get involved in the charities, but sometimes it's a community thing.
Yeah,
the Apopka alumni wanted to get the word out about the statue, and they wanted to get it out soon, so we sort of pivoted in the middle of the
we did a special.
We did an extra episode. So reach out to us.
Yeah, or if you know somebody that would be great on the show for a future show that we're having. We try to do a theme every month, so we'd have to fit them in, but we always can do specials. So
and we've got a list of guests that have or people that have either told us about others that they would like to have on the show that they feel are dynamic and interesting. We've also had people reach out that want to be guests on the show. We haven't forgotten about you guys. We've got a list. We are trying to organize them into categories so that we can, kind of stay with that theme wherever possible. For example, in October, very exciting month for us, but we're going to do Halloween and hops, and that's all we're going to tell you. But
well, you guys know us with Halloween, so
and hops sometimes too. But so that's going to be really fun. But that's the kind of thing that we want to try to do whenever we can, and and we've got some really cool stuff lined up. I'm very excited. Me too. So our hashtag for the month is month of teachers. We're going to put that on all our posts. Yep. With all the teachers that we interview this month. So make sure to include that hashtag if you want to recognize a teacher in your life or in your kid's life or whatever you want to do. And let's see if we can get that trending, because there's only a couple hundred out there now. How cool would it be if we could actually get a hashtag trending because of what we're trying to do here? And have the pictures of all the teachers that we're going to have on the show. Yeah. That would be great. That would be amazing. Also, all of our social media is Fine and Dangy. One more time, I wanted to mention Mimi's Community Theater. If you want to go see a show that is lighthearted and in the vein of Shrek, the Fairy Tale Misfits. I don't know why I can't remember that. I keep wanting to say Fairy Tale Rejects, but it's Fairy Tale Misfits. Will be showing this Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday during the matinee at Mimi's Community Theater in Mount Verde. I will post a link in the show notes to that as well. It's also next weekend as well. Oh, it is? I'm sorry. Yes, of course. It's next weekend as well. So there's 3 shows this weekend. There's 3 shows next weekend, and that's it. It's gone. So it's going to come and go. And I am personally going to go to more than one show. I know you are. You're probably going to go to all of them. I might go to all of them. I will not be at all of them. I'll have to see if I can get a pass, if I can purchase a pass for all of them. A multi-show. Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. You can. That's it. We're done. We are done. And now I'm going to go and take my sweater off because I had coffee, and now I am hot and sweaty. We also turned off the fan for the for the microphones. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. And we look forward to you hearing all of our interviews this month for a month of teachers. When you're listening to those podcasts this month, listen for what the needs of the teachers are in the classroom. Indeed. Because the teachers are expressing that, and it's going to be different with every age group. It really is. And I try to make it easy when we talk about those things on the show. I try to make it technologically easy where, and I mentioned earlier, for those of you that don't know how to listen to a podcast necessarily, I kind of went through how to do that. But even if you just take the simplest route, any of the platforms that you listen to our podcast on, even if you just go to fineanddangy.com to the podcast feed, when you scroll, when you hit play on the show, when you scroll down, there will be links all below the show, the description of the show, and on the website or any of the platforms you're listening on, and they will have links to that type of stuff. So when the teachers are telling us, hey, we really need help here, hey, this is an organization that really needs help related to our teaching and education, you can just click on it and go to it instead of having to try to write things down or remember during the show. So that's what I mean when I always say I'm going to put that link in the show notes. So anyway, that is it. And we are wrapping up. Bye, guys. Sorry, I got distracted. Oh, boy. All right. Well, that's definitely a sign we better wrap up. So thanks for watching, guys. And we will see you in the next one, or you'll hear us in the next one. See you on the next time. I'll see you on the next time. Oh, wait. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all fine and dangy. That's why I'm going to hit the music button right there. No. She asked where the bags came from for the
donation.
Very nice. We're still live. I'm going to go shut it off. Thank you, guys. Have a good night. Thank you, Veronica. Have a good night. Thanks, Heather.
You're lucky you get to see all the comments.
I put them up there, but
I can't see that.
you know what? I noticed though.
That is you what?
You can do the same.
Mine at the same time.
Facebook as myself. Find me, just watch the live feed. That's all I'm doing.
And you can see all the comments. Exactly. And I always forget how to do that.
This thing died. So your close-up camera died. This one I never turned
Well, we went for like 45 minutes. Well,
But
now we know.
now I can see.